Hey everybody, welcome back to the Spin Rack. I'm here with my boy PDP. Say what's up to the peeps.
What's going on, everybody? Excuse
Hey,
me for
today we're
that.
gonna be that's all right, that's all right. Today we're gonna be discussing Justice League Crisis on Infinite Earth. Of course, Justice League, DC is milking the crisis until they can get no more. So we're back to this to this cow one more time. Hopefully it's a good one, you know. Though they've given some good, decent examples over the years, I think sometimes, they have to try something else. But this is the only one that seems to be hitting all the time. So let's see what this new incarnation of Justice League is. This
Was
is the
only
animated department.
hmm? Yes,
Is
animated.
it?
It's only like it looks like a teaser though. It's not that long, so let's see what it's about.
Most of you are aware that you live in a reality parallel to many versions of your universe. I've gathered you all to save your world.
Is it as bad as it looks?
Yes. You're needed, Kara.
Something's about to happen. Something major. The universe. It's all vanishing.
I'm gonna say uh it doesn't look bad. What do you say?
Do I really have to say?
You
First
don't
of all, just start off with the fact that they're starting off with the whole concept as a trilogy. Not even two movies, it's a trilogy. And so that already gets me like, trilogy? Why three movies? But
it's a
let's
big
say,
story.
no, you're right. It's a huge story. It's a huge story, and it hasn't been done, at least on the big screen or the minor screen, huge. I mean, they've done it with, remember the Arrowverse? They did their version of it, which, I mean,
Yeah.
wasn't bad. They did a good job of that. Didn't they do this already? Animated version? I could have sworn I saw an animated version of it or something close to it. But I mean, why Crisis on Infinite Earths? The problem I have, and listen, you know what? Let's throw it out. It looks good. As always, the animation looks very, very good. The Superman. Can we go back to Superman? He looks very different. They.
Yeah,
This
the
is not being
animation
done.
style is very different than what we've seen
Yeah,
before. Here's the Batman.
right. And so supposedly yeah. So supposedly this James Gunn's new universe, DC universe, is supposed to include both the animated and the regular movies. That's what I think he said before, right? So the
Yeah.
question is this the new Superman supposed to be looking like? Or is this supposed to be some retro? It's a very different look Superman. I haven't seen probably we have to have Cal in here to really like ascertain is this, because I was very surprised by the way he was drawn. He doesn't look like any of the typical Supermans we're used to seeing. What's your take on that, Petey?
I don't think I think the art style really defines what they're doing here. I don't think it looks like a different Superman. I think the other characters, like the Flash, kind of having the kind of stuff on the chin type of deal. I think, ultimately, one of the things that I liked when I first started reading Crisis, were their characters that I didn't know, like the Blue Beetle, some characters from Infinity Inc. But then it became mainly a Superman miniseries. Then kind of Perez not took over, but helped out with the plotting. So it kept from being all these characters being selected to being like the entire DC universe. When DC said to Perez that, hey, can you help Marv out and kind of clean this up because it's kind of getting out of whack here. So you know, so it wasn't necessarily a Superman thing, even though he appeared a lot in it. And Batman really wasn't an important part of Crisis at all. He shows up in issue 2, which is a great sequence when he sees Flash and Flash dies in front of him. But at the same time, he has another great moment, but a moment where it's like, hey, we can't do anything. Leave it up to the cosmic superpowers. Where it was good to see a character who had no powers really had to be sidelined in the scene where it's saying, hey, it's not for us to really deal with. And then
With Batman that popular in 85 and 86 when Crisis came out, as opposed to what he is now. I mean, now he is the whole DC universe.
Well, they weren't necessarily. I mean, this is. I mean, even if he wasn't popular, when he first ran into the Titans, they didn't pad it out where Robin beat Batman in a physical fight. Batman beat Robin. Only thing they said is, as far as Batman being a leader of the outsiders, where he's kind of a drill sergeant, Robin might be a better leader in that sense because he kind of grew out of trying to be like Batman, being domineering and being more like himself. So, but Batman, I'm not to take away, as just saying that, they just didn't center around him and trying to figure out big things for Batman to do here. It's kind of pointless, but, and then you can get to see other characters, but you get to see Supergirl. She's going to be prominent in this. And she was kind of, because her book wasn't selling, she was first in line to get taken out. So for the dramatic effect, but in actuality, they were Wolfman and Perez were trying to think about what if we kill Superman, and Chris Claremont had the idea that the Golden Age Superman would be the Superman of the regular universe, So, but anyway.
Yeah, I mean, no, it's good. I mean, you're right. And the comics definitely, because of the success of all the stuff that they've done, right? It made a huge difference, right?
Mm-hmm.
And bringing in Batman would not have made any. Kind of doesn't make any sense. And we're talking about cosmic level issue. It's about Batman's whole world normally focuses on Gotham, right? So it's and he has yet to get that cleaned up. My goodness, but he's getting there.
Well, the problem is when you get to like a final crisis where he picks up some sort of Omega something else so he can fight Darkseid, and it's just like, what's the point? Like, what do we get out of that? Whereas, I'm not saying he has to fight Superman all the time, which, there's a bunch of characters on the DC, but in Crisis, like Darkseid has a late part in the story where all these weird characters from DC, they run into Darkseid, who's kind of knocked out, and he helps them. He helps them against the Anti-Monitor. So, and they're keeping the Anti-Monitor under wraps. So, but one of the things I'd like to say, which rarely gets said, is that, is that Crisis is actually the Fantastic Four Galactus story done in a 12-part series, right? Because that one, like no, because on Earth there's a person who comes who is it? Like the universe is getting destroyed. The problem in the Fantastic Four is that these planets are being eaten. So other worlds are trying to hide themselves from Galactus, the Silver Surfer, and the Silver Surfer come. But they have in Crisis, they have Pariah. Pariah comes to these worlds while they're dying. He's like prophetic and saying, "Oh no, this place is dying." And it's like, "Yo, it's your fault," and then the place dies. So yeah, Pariah is kind of like the Silver Surfer. You have a bunch of other characters who are kind of like on the edge of that. But then instead of the Monitor is just like the Watcher, but he was more of like a criminal early on. We didn't know what he was doing, and now he's here to save the universe. And Galactus, even though he's not his opposite, Galactus is the person trying to eat the planet. So it's like there's a lot of similarities when you look at it. When you have you take the Galactus story and he turned it into like you turn Galactus, instead of being beyond good or evil, into a character that you want to be defeated. So can't hear you.
I don't necessarily agree, but I can understand your point. I see your point there. So, but getting back to this one
The
here,
Watcher, the Monitor. Come on.
I mean, I can't.
Let me
But
go
look,
to a cool
I'm
Watcher. Actually, the original Watcher was pretty cool because he was like one. He was like a different look for the Greys. Like he had a big head and different colored skin, but a lot larger. And the difference between the Greys was that he was a lot larger. So
But I mean, coming back here, DC has done the Crisis on Infinite Earth again with the CW, which was generally successful. I think people were planning that for the longest, and then they finally did a version of it. I guess Justice League was kind of like no, I wouldn't say that's a Crisis, but no, you can't. I was going to say possibly the Justice League versus what's his name's movie, Snyder's not Snyder, Zack Snyder's movie, but no, it's not going to be that. So I guess they've done Dark
what are
Crisis.
you hemming and hawing about?
No, I don't know how this is going to turn out. Look,
You're iffy on it.
Yeah, I am very iffy. So what we've gotten from this is that, just as a little background, this is supposed to be the animated universe as it was before in DC is now being this whole crisis event is basically kicking it off or changing it up so that it could not blow it up, but change it so that it can go on to the new gun universe of DC animated shows and stuff like that, right? DC is really starting next year. I think is when they're going to start releasing DC shows from Gun, right? So I guess they have to wrap this whole shebang and explain how whoever he chooses to be the heroes in this particular new universe, who they are, what they're doing, and how they relate to the universe that he's currently in. I guess he's trying to make it more connected, similar to what they do in Marvel.
So wait a second.
This is what's pushing it through.
Do you think that these characters are the characters that we've seen in the animated show, the live action? You think that this Arrow is going to be similar to the Arrow from the Arrowverse?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying
this Flash looks like the Flash from the TV show.
Should bring it up again. Let me see it. But I mean, they're changing. This may be the Flash from the TV show, but they're changing it to make sure it matches whatever happens in the new gun universe of DC.
Yeah, okay.
But it kind of makes sense, Now they're going to try to do the Crisis, but I hope that they're taking their time to really do it. The animation looks fantastic.
It's really interesting. It's kind of finally. Well, no, they've tried things, and I like the Brave and Bold. I haven't liked anything outside of the Brave and Bold and the original stuff that they did, but this is a step in the right direction. Hopefully, it holds up within the action. The action stays fun, because there's other things I've seen which I've been kind of like iffy on. Like the Legion story. I wasn't really with that, and I think the Superman for All-Star Superman captured the art style of Frank Quitely, but he's not really one of my favorite, but they were able to capture his style. But anyway, looks okay. A lot of characters with Blue Beetle. That's the thing. Blue Beetle was kind of the underpowered character who was drafted in this thing with the Monitor, so it's good that he's there. But
the only one that looks weird to me is Superman. It's like he does not look the standard way they've drawn him in the past. So this is Superman and Superboy, or two versions.
I have no idea, man.
Look at the way the little thing on his head here, and the other one is more. It crooks the other way. The S's look the exact same, but their noses look a little different. It's just a little bit. It seems, or it could be just from the way the frame is.
Yeah. So It looks like we're getting a lot of characters. We got Amazing Man I can see here. I think that's probably Aquaman. They might have this might be Tempest. Looks like there's a lot of characters. Black Batgirl is there. That's as much as I can kind of call out from since it's blurry. But obviously,
Scroll a little
Hawkman,
bit.
huh?
Scroll a little bit to the right.
What do you mean?
3 seconds. Let's move a little bit to the right. No, I'm talking about the timeline. Scroll a little bit more.
There's more.
Yeah, Zatanna is in there. Yeah, it's a character they keep trying to use somehow. It doesn't always seem to work out for some odd reason. Keep going. Just let it run silently. I'll tell you when to stop.
Animation's a lot of fun. Huntress is in there.
Was that Ultimate Ultraman?
Yeah, Ultraman's in there.
So that means what? Earth 2? What Earth is he from?
Earth 3.
Well, of course, Earth 3. So of course it makes sense because that's Crisis on Infinite Earth. So again, the way they're drawing Superman just looks weird to me.
Yeah, no, I think
It's a different look on Superman.
Zatanna there, and Captain Adams there. He was also in the series. He's a series. Well, he showed up for a bit part. He wasn't that big in it. I think this one's going to end on. Well, I don't know what's going to end on, but
It's a 3-parter. So, and is it going to be a full hour and a half, or is it going to be like what, 80 minutes, 60 minutes?
Well, Cal might be happy. Look at Wonder Woman. She's the same size as what's her name?
Yeah,
as Lois Lane.
So right here we see characters that were not there before, right? So, previously, but hey, I mean, it may be good. What can you say? I'm all for it. I'm not gonna deny it. I would love to see them do it again, and hopefully they can knock it out the park with this one. But I hope that they finally do the right thing to just mess it up. I hope that's not what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, sorry for being so negative, guys, but DC's.
Isn't that my job?
I know. DC's just burnt me so many times over the years that I'm like, though they have some of my favorite characters there. All right. Pete, anything else you want to add?
I think that's about it. I'm good.
All right, then Spinnerack.